Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards. The Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Klingler and Sandra Ann Taylor. I know it says it's a tarot deck, but it reads more like an Oracle deck for me, so that's how I use it. And it's a beautiful deck. It's a nice deck. So to include it, that's what I needed to do. What do we have for... Okay. What is that card? That's not even a bad card. Alright, going into it. Master Artisan. Light of the World. These first two cards, and you got one more card coming in. It's kind of like I'm trying to deal with something. I feel like it's almost like I got to do this. I'm gonna do this. It's part. I don't know if I want to do it or if I need to do it. Because it's kind of like, you know, I could let somebody else handle this or just walk away from it, but I just feel like later on I'm gonna have to deal with something anyway, so I might as well just go for it and deal with it. Queen of Scrolls here is the last one. You're trying to really look at what's been going on. I feel like when I feel the Queen of Scrolls for you, you're like looking back, like what's been going on? How did we get here? And do I really want this here? Like, is what people are saying really why this is here, or what really brought it here? Like you're kind of sifting through the ashes here, like, all right, this is why people say this is how this is, but I don't know. Let me look a little deeper. And you're kind of like getting ready to change things, and while you're like researching it here a little bit, I feel like you're finding things and you're like, if I don't step in now, it's just going to keep going the way it has been, and that's not right. I'm the one who can pull this forward, and I can expose things because they need to be exposed for things to correct. And I feel like that's how you're looking at it, if this is hitting. Kind of like, oh, no, this has to come to light. If this comes to light, this could go better. If this doesn't come to light, it could just continue on the same way it was. All this comes in at once for you. King of Fire, which is this, King of Wands. King of Fire, King of Wands, same thing. So you're taking action, you're going right in it, and you're doing what you think you need to do. That's good. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But I also feel like you're coming at this like, but I need to expose what's been going on, because this is why this keeps being a problem, because people don't realize what's really happening here. The thing is, you're very well aware, like, just throwing the information out there and just letting it land where it lands isn't going to work. You got to be strategic about it. And you're kind of like, all right, I need the right people to hear this at the right time, so they really pay attention and they really think about what's going on. I don't want to put this information out there, people just argue about it, and then they walk away just upset with each other and not realizing what the actual problem was. I need to get them at the right time so they can hear this, absorb it, and really think about what's going on here. Really kind of sink in, like, wait a minute, this isn't quite right. So you're kind of like trying to fight for a moment to really say what needs to be said. You're looking for the right time. I'm not looking to just to throw it out there and see what happens. That's not what you're about at this moment. In this moment, you're like, I need to be effective. I got to find the right place. You got the Hermit with the Two of Swords right behind it. Like, it's hard. You seem to be having a very, very big difficulty finding that moment. But you keep looking and you keep waiting. At the same time, you're slowly trying to wake people up to what's really going on here. Now, the thing is, people seem to be partially happy with what's going on, and they just want to keep doing their routine. They just keep going in circles and just punching the clock like they have been. They just don't want to think about it. That's the thing. I feel like that's part of the problem. They don't really want to think about it. And they just want to keep doing what they're doing. And they're like, I'm happy enough just doing what I'm doing. I don't want to be bothered with other things. Don't tell me about the details. I don't care about the details. I just want to keep living the way I'm living. Just leave me alone with it. They don't seem to want to be bothered. And you're kind of like, all right, hold on. because they need to. The reason you want them to see it is because you got this card. This fell out while I was shuffling. The death card is coming. This situation is going to have a big problem at some point. It's in a place right now where it's not coming right away, but it's heading that way. It's kind of like, it's kind of like that milk heading for the side of the table. Like, it's heading that way. It's going to go off the edge. It's like it's something heading for the edge of the table. It's going to fall off. It's going to happen sooner or later. Maybe not right now, but in a few moments it will. This is upside down. It's in a weird spot, and they might think that they don't have to address something, but that's another thing you're trying to say. Like, listen, this isn't going to last forever. This isn't going to linger forever. Sooner or later there's going to be a big change, and the sooner you see it, the sooner you can do something with it. The wheel turns. This was face down, which is interesting. Which is telling me, I don't think you're even realizing this, but something comes in, and it's kind of like the death card comes in a little stronger, still upside down, but it's kind of like, hey, something isn't right here. You're going to have to address something. And again, I don't think they want to. It's coming in. It's coming in saying, hey, here's an issue. We're going to have an issue. It's kind of like not only is the milk heading towards the side of the table, but one of the legs is a little flunky, so the table might tip along with it. So this situation isn't going to last. There's a problem here, and you're like, yeah, I know. I'm trying to get people to wake up and see it. Things keep going along the way they've been going with the Knight of Pentacles. It's not changing. But the Ten of Wands here is telling me it's getting more stressful. People are having a hard time not addressing what's wrong, because there's definitely something wrong here. Even though they're trying to keep going, kind of like, I'll just ignore it and keep doing what I was doing. I'll just ignore it and keep doing what I was doing, and hopefully it won't be an issue and it'll just go away, and we can get back into the normal rut. It's kind of a rut. The normal cycle of things. This comes in the environment. I can already see what this face down card is, which is not really surprising, but it's technically a surprising card. It's the Queen of Keys, right? Yep. And this card that's hidden is the Tower. The moment is going to come, and it's like, I feel like what's going to happen here is people aren't going to listen to you. But you need to be aware for yourself. You need to prepare for yourself. So do what's right for you. In this situation, I think it's more about, if you can get people to listen, try to get them to prepare like you're preparing. Whatever you need to do for this change, you get yourself ready for it. If there's certain people who will listen, see if they can get aligned with you and try to help them also get ready with you, because that Tower card is coming. I feel like the Queen of Keys is coming in. Is that a person? I feel like it's a person. The person seems to be kind of like, you know what, enough of this table, and pushes it over. Because when I feel they're bringing this Tower card, and it's like they show up and you think, oh great, isn't this a nice person? And they're like, this table's broke, and they push it right over. So there, it's broke now. Get rid of it. That seems to be their attitude. Like, you were trying to work with this table, it was a little rickety, things were rolling off the side of it. You realized there was a broken leg. You're like, we need to fix the table. And she shows up and she's like, nope, it's broke now, get rid of it. Nope, we're not fixing it, we're getting rid of it. Like, you were but your energy was more before this, like, we could fix that. And she's like, oh, no, you can't. Now you can't. Don't get caught up in the gender, but there's a very strong kind of like, this is how we move out through this. That's the energy I'm feeling with her with that Tower card. With the Queen of Keys, that's usually like, I usually see it as communication, but I'm getting action with this. Like, it might be communication that causes action, just to be fair. Boom. You have the Akashic Library on your side. So I feel like once this happens, I feel like this is your response. This is like, I feel like this is your response. Like, you're like, we got to fix that leg, and this person comes in and says, no, we don't, and breaks the table. There you go. All done. Just get rid of it now. Throw it out. Don't have to worry about that anymore. And you're kind of like, oh. Well, yeah, I guess that takes care of that issue. Okay. It's happened now. That's that. Okay. And that's that. From that moment, something different is going to have to, like, there's going to be something brought in. It's kind of like, instead of having a table, do we want a breakfast nook? Are we going to put something else there? Do we want to put, like, something like a like a counter instead of a table in that area? Is there going to be something else in that area? We're going to use that area for something different. You got ego on your side with the architect. I feel like your first thought is, you know what? What is your first thought? You've got ego with the architect. Like, you know what you want. I feel like what they're saying is, like, look at the situation and what's really needed. I think it needs to be put down to the base level. What does the situation need? And then start from there. Because when I'm getting the ego, they're like, be careful with this. Because it's almost like, well, now that that table's gone, we could do all this great stuff there. Bring it back down to base level. There was a table, a simple table there. It was rickety. We just need something else to the reason that table was there was to put stuff there so people could sit there or whatever. Whatever reason the table was there, we got to serve that purpose. We got to make sure we take care of that purpose because that was for a reason. I feel like that's what they're saying with the ego card. Don't let people go crazy with ideas because you might get pulled in with that too. Bring it down to base level. Wait, what do we need from this spot? What does this spot need to be used for? Is it good for people to congregate there, or do we need to keep things there? Do we need to store things there? Do people like prepare things there? What do they do in that area? What needs to be done there? Let's bring it down to the base level and work with it from there. Because the architect is saying you don't want to get something going and start things moving forward and realize, oh, wait a minute. Now that we're using this space for that, now where are we going to do that? Now where are people going to prepare things now? If they can't prepare things here, now we got to find a different place. It creates a domino effect of changes. Things are going to go forward pretty quickly, but don't get stuck. Don't get trapped in this situation. Keep bringing it back to like the base zero. Wait, what is this situation for? What is the base reason for this situation? Now that that person broke that table and it's gone, we can't use that table anymore, but we got to make sure we can still prepare or do what we need to do in this area because that's what this area is for. Keep bringing it back down to ground zero. Keep bringing it back down to the base. I feel like you can easily get sucked in with it, and I think that's why they're using the Four of Roses, saying you could easily get sucked in with it because it sounds like grand ideas are flying around. But always bring it back to that base ground zero. Is that base need being met by the new situation? Are we good? All right. We're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.